Hello and welcome to NewsClick. Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa won an emphatic victory in the presidential election held just a few days back. He defeated ex-General Sarath Fonseca, the chief opposition candidate, by a large margin, nearly 17 percentage points. The president's gamble of scheduling early elections to cash in on his popularity following the defeat of the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, therefore, indeed paid him dividends. The chief opposition candidate, former Army Chief Sarath Fonseca, however, refused to accept the verdict, calling the elections rigged post the declaration of results.
So we worked as per the rule, but finally we find now the franchise of the people has not been interpreted properly, has been distorted. The result what has been given out as the ultimate result of the election, which was held yesterday, presidential election, we are not accepting that. We know that we have met the people, we have interacted with the people, we had a lot of meetings with the people. We know that the people wanted a believable change and they were all awaiting for that. And they had a lot of hopes, they had very high aspirations, but all this has been let down, condemned by the government, and they have distorted the election results, misinterpreted, and given the results otherwise. Otherwise, we knew that we were recording and registering a victory, but the victory has been grabbed away, taken away from us by the government by obvious election rigging and also violation of election law throughout. Throughout 1.5 months, even 2 days prior to the final election, where we were not supposed to have any constructive propaganda, government continued violating the election law and used all different ways and means to manipulate, mislead people, character assassinate, tarnish the image, assassinate people, attack people, did all that to divert the attention of people and also to misinterpret the election results. Finally, they managed to achieve their aim.
The general also made a slew of allegations about possible assassination and him wanting to leave the country temporarily for his safety.
I have no intention of leaving the country, but I have to survive. If I die, I can't meet the aspirations of the people. So I will take all the precautions. If they take out my security and if I have been targeted, if they are going to assassinate me, to escape that, I will take precautions. If the best option is to leave the country, short period.
It's quite clear that the election outcome has only increased the distance between these two leaders who were linchpins in the civil war against the LTTE. Merely a fortnight since the elections, General Fonseca has been arrested by the government on charges of conspiring to a military coup and harboring deserters. At the time of his arrest, Fonseca was meeting with his supporters, leaders from various opposition parties, trying to chalk a strategy for upcoming parliamentary elections. And just a few hours before his arrest, Fonseca made a couple of strong statements in a media briefing that he is, to quote him, "I am not going to save anyone who has committed war crimes. I am definitely going to reveal what I know, what I was told, and what I heard. Anyone who has committed war crimes would definitely be brought into courts." End quote. It must be remembered that the United Nations had only a few days ago confirmed that videos showing Sri Lankan army atrocities on Tamil citizens were indeed genuine. Fonseca, who was the army chief during the operations against the LTTE, had also taken support from Tamil parties for his candidacy, and a similar alliance was being mooted for the parliamentary election scheduled in April. He was supported by an united but disparate set of political actors, from the liberal and pro-market United National Party to the ultra-nationalist and officially communist Janata Vimukthi Peramuna to even the Tamil National Alliance, which was a pro-LTTE separatist outfit during the days of the civil war. No wonder Fonseca won the most number of votes in areas with greater presence of Tamils and other minorities in the recently concluded presidential election. It is quite apparent that the Rajapaksa regime, contrary to the president's assurance post the elections, is not so keen on reconciliation and working with the opposition parties, most of whom have favoured Fonseca's candidacy. The Sri Lankan state has still not resolved the national question, with devolution of political power to Tamil and Muslim majority areas still found to be wanting.
The Tamil question actually reached a dead end to some extent, until otherwise there's a greater force out from outside or inside being mobilized to really revive the whole agenda of creating a meaningful autonomy. Federalism is a dirty word. It has been since 56 onwards, though, you know, it was the Sinhalese political leaders, S.W.R.D. Bandaranaike, who really used the word federalism way back in the, in the late 40s.
Right.
But things have happened in such a way. I think that's, it's got into everybody's mind that the moment you really use the word federalism, which means a federalism is a first step towards the disintegration of the country.
Even though the LTT, which represented a fascist leadership to the Tamil separatist claim, was defeated, there is still a lot of disenchantment among the Tamils and other minorities in the country. The Rajapakse presidency promised a homegrown political resolution and devolution of powers, but with the government more keen on browbeating the opposition, it remains to be seen as to how the solution plays itself out. Ethnic nationalism and deep division among the Sinhalese, the Tamils and the Muslims has characterized the Sri Lankan society, and the immaturity of its polity has not helped matters. Sri Lanka now also faces newer challenges besides the lingering ones: the heavy involvement of the military in politics, the continuing chauvinist and jingoist tendencies among most of the political parties, and the illiberal and authoritarian nature of the government, which has not tolerated dissent or varying opinion against it. No doubt, there has to be a change in direction. The government should be more tolerant of criticism. It has to reach out to the traumatized and much displaced Tamil population still recovering from the war in the north, and must keep the military out of politics. On the contrary, the arrest of General Fonseca reeks of witch hunting and trying to browbeat the opposition, steps that will only exacerbate the political situation in the country.